Some anime characters aren't just strong, they're straight up broken. Let's count down 15 overpowered MCs who make villains look like background extras. Number 15. Liam Sera. I'm the evil lord of an intergalactic empire. Liam Sera got reincarnated into a futuristic galaxy where politics and power rule. But instead of being just another spoiled noble, he grew into the kind of evil lord who crushes fleets like ants. Liam doesn't swing swords or chant spells. He manipulates entire empires, using technology, armies, and tactics that make generals sweat bullets. He's ruthless, cunning, and terrifyingly effective, proving that being overpowered isn't always about flashy combat. It can be about domination and strategy. What's wild is that while most protagonists chase peace, Liam thrives in chaos. He doesn't just survive in an empire full of betrayal, he bends it to his will. If one man can rewrite the balance of power across galaxies, then here's the scary part. What happens when Liam gets bored and decides the entire universe is his playground? Number 14. Kuuro Ishura. In a world filled with warriors who can destroy mountains, Kuuro still stands out, and he doesn't even rely on magic. His power is raw speed and skill with the sword, so fast and so precise that most fights don't even look like fights. You blink, and the enemy's already on the ground, not even realizing what hit them. Kuuro's the definition of lethal efficiency. No wasted movements, no wasted words, just victory. But don't let the silence fool you. He isn't just a skilled fighter, his precision is so deadly it borders on supernatural. Even so-called heroes hesitate when they face him, because against Kuuro, one mistake is your last. But here's the real cliffhanger. When a man who kills with technique alone crosses paths with reality-bending gods, will speed and skill be enough? Or will even Kuuro's blade finally meet its limit? Number 13. Tougo Asagaki. The Red Ranger becomes an adventurer in another world. You thought Power Rangers was kid stuff? Not when Tougo Asagaki shows up in another world. As Earth's Red Ranger, he was already a superhuman defender of justice, fighting monsters with insane strength and reflexes. But when he's dropped into a fantasy world, his power doesn't just transfer, it levels up. Now, instead of colourful villains, he's bodying dragons, demons, and dungeon bosses with pure Sentai energy. His durability is ridiculous, his courage unshakable, and his combat skills make seasoned warriors look like rookies. What's really wild is that he still keeps that hero of justice personality, even as he casually steamrolls beings who'd terrify any normal adventurer. But let's be real. If a ranger with this much power ever decided to ditch the whole justice thing and go rogue, could anyone in this world actually stop him? Number 12. Mash Burnedead. Mashly, magic and muscles. Mash Burnedead lives in a society where magic decides your status. The problem? He was born without an ounce of magic. Instead of giving up, Mash trained his body until muscles became his magic. Now he's bench pressing spells, breaking enchanted weapons, and punching magic circles into useless dust. Wizards spend years studying spells. Mash spends seconds flexing and wins anyway. He's literally an anti-magic existence. Someone who proves brute strength can mock entire systems of sorcery. His calm, goofy personality makes him hilarious. But when it's time to throw hands, Mash casually embarrasses opponents who thought magic made them untouchable. And it's not just about brute force. He's creative with it too, using pure muscle power in ways that even magicians couldn't predict. But if Mash's fists can tear down a magical empire, imagine what happens when he goes up against the gods of his world. Number 11. Touka Mimori, Failure Frame. Touka Mimori started as the joke of his class, the weakest hero summoned, labelled useless and tossed aside like garbage. But betrayal has a way of rewriting fate. Instead of dying, Touka awakened powers so absurd they turned failure into fear. His skills don't just beat enemies, they erase them, reality and all. He's the type of guy who turns his pain and humiliation into unstoppable destruction. Every fight is him flexing on destiny itself, proving that the world was dead wrong about him. Mimori isn't just OP, he's vengeful, and that combination is terrifying. Watching him go from powerless victim to nightmare executioner is chilling, because you realize he doesn't just want to win, he wants to annihilate. But here's the kicker. If a so-called failure can reach this level of dominance, what happens when his wrath spreads beyond enemies to the entire world itself? Number 10. Makoto Misumi, Moonlit Fantasy. Makoto Misumi wasn't your typical chosen hero. Summoned to another world, he was immediately rejected by the goddess who summoned him, literally abandoned. But instead of becoming fodder, Makoto became unstoppable. His archery, magic, and physical strength put him far above normal heroes. He commands elemental forces, bends dimensions, and forges contracts with dragons like it's just another day. He isn't just strong, he's adaptable, smart, and calm, which makes him scarier than any hot-headed powerhouse. Makoto builds his own world from scratch, turning insults into a kingdom where he makes the rules. The best part? He doesn't even flaunt it. His enemies just slowly realize they're playing a losing game against someone far above their league. But here's the cliffhanger. If Makoto's already casually rewriting reality, what happens when he finally decides to go all out against gods themselves? Number 9. Arthur Grey, the beginning after the end. Arthur Lewin, formerly King Grey, got a second life in a magical world, and he's not wasting it. With the experience of a wise ruler and the talent of a prodigy, Arthur combines swordsmanship, magic, and strategy in ways that crush enemies twice his age. He isn't just strong, he's disciplined, learning, and always evolving. His bond with ancient powers pushes him further, and his tactical mind ensures he's never fighting fair. He's always 2 steps ahead. Watching Arthur fight feels like watching a grandmaster play chess while everyone else is still figuring out the rules. The scary part? He's still growing. With every arc, Arthur's power keeps climbing, hinting at a future where he won't just protect kingdoms, he'll dominate them. But when that day comes, will Arthur still fight as a hero or rule as a god? Number 8. Cid Kagenou, the Eminence in Shadow. Cid Kagenou dreamed of being the guy in the shadows pulling strings. Then life turned his fantasy into reality. With insane mana reserves, limitless creativity, and insane combat instincts, he became Shadow, the ultimate mastermind. He crushes enemies while pretending he's weak, acting like it's all part of some big roleplay. The funniest part? Half the time he doesn't even realize his make-believe is shaping the world for real. His enemies? Reduced to jokes. His allies worship him like a living god. His biggest flex? He still acts like none of this matters, like he's just average. But think about this. If Cid is already rewriting fate while playing pretend, what happens when he finally stops acting and decides to unleash his true power seriously? Number 7. Flio Banaza, chilling in another world with level 2 super cheat powers. Banaza was summoned, judged useless, and tossed aside. Sounds familiar, right? Except here's the twist. His power didn't just break the rules, it broke the entire game. At level 2, he's already infinite. No damage touches him, no spell affects him, and his attacks casually end battles without effort. He doesn't grind, he doesn't struggle, he just exists, and enemies fold. What makes him even scarier is his personality. He's chill, kind, and just wants to live peacefully, which makes the gap between his gentle demeanor and his destructive potential terrifying. Imagine the guy who can rewrite existence itself saying, "Nah, I just want to relax." But let's be honest, the day Banaza decides peace is overrated, that's the day the world finds out what infinity really looks like. Number 6. Shigeo Mob Kageyama, Mob Psycho 100. Mob is the definition of quiet kid with god-tier powers. On the outside, he's just a shy middle schooler, but when his emotions overflow, his psychic energy explodes into natural disasters. Buildings crumble, armies of espers collapse, and reality itself warps under his power. At 100%, Mob is a force of nature, but the true nightmare is his pay% state, something even he can't control. He doesn't want to be a weapon, but destiny keeps pushing him into battles where his kindness clashes with his destructive potential. Watching Mob lose control is both heartbreaking and terrifying because you know he could level the entire planet without meaning to. But here's the scary part. If Mob's emotions keep evolving, what happens when that percent becomes his normal? Could the world even survive it? Number 5. Ainz Ooal Gown Overlord. Ainz wasn't born powerful. He was a regular guy trapped in his favorite game. But inside Yggdrasil's world, he became an undead overlord, wielding magic so vast it feels unfair. He has spells that erase nations, summons that rival armies, and artifacts that would make gods jealous. But the real cheat code? His mind. Ainz is a strategist who wins battles before they even start, manipulating kings, deceiving enemies, and making allies worship him like a deity. His control is so absolute that even when he's testing powers, kingdoms fall. Every move feels like a step in a larger plan we can't even see. But here's the catch. If Ainz is already feared while holding back, what happens when he finally decides to unleash everything without restraint? Number 4. Rimuru Tempest. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. From a slime to a god, that's Rimuru's journey. At first he was just a weak blob, but after evolving and absorbing skills, Rimuru turned into a walking arsenal. Predator lets him devour anything. Great Sage guides him with strategy, and evolution keeps pushing him past his limits. Now he's not just a fighter, he's a ruler, building a kingdom that unites monsters and humans under his leadership. But don't mistake kindness for weakness. Rimuru can erase armies, rewrite existence, and fight demon lords head-on without breaking a sweat. His compassion makes him a beloved leader, but that same compassion hides his terrifying potential. Because if Rimuru ever stops caring and decides destruction is easier than peace, then the multiverse itself might be in serious trouble. Number 3. Saitama, One Punch Man. Saitama is the biggest joke and the biggest nightmare rolled into one bald head. Training until he broke his own limits, he turned into a being who ends fights in one punch, literally. Enemies spend whole arcs powering up, giving speeches and transforming, only for Saitama to casually tap them into oblivion. What's terrifying is how effortless it is. He doesn't even sweat. But beneath the comedy is something darker. If his casual punches already shake planets, what happens if he actually gets serious? Right now, he's bored, waiting for a worthy challenge. But if that challenge never comes, who's to say he won't break reality itself just out of frustration? Number 2. Anos Voldigoad, the misfit of Demon King Academy. Anos isn't arrogant because he thinks he's strong. He's arrogant because he knows he's untouchable. As the reincarnated Demon King, he wields magic and power that defy all logic. His heartbeat alone is enough to intimidate gods. He resurrects allies with a word, annihilates armies with a glance, and controls time like it's nothing. What makes him insane isn't just the feats, it's the casual way he performs them, as if bending reality is just daily routine. His enemies don't just lose, they get humiliated. Watching Anos fight is like watching an adult bully kids on the playground. But here's the real cliffhanger. If this is Anos taking it easy, what happens when he actually decides to go all out? No mercy, no limits. Number 1. Yogiri Takatou. My instant death ability is so overpowered. Yogiri doesn't fight, he doesn't train, he doesn't even try. He just exists with an ability that makes everything else pointless, instant death. With a thought, a word, or even a lazy decision, he erases anything. Monsters? Heroes? Gone. Gods? Deleted. His power is absolute, with no counters, no limits, no build-up. The scariest part is his attitude. Yogiri doesn't even flex. He's laid back, almost detached, as if killing the unkillable is just background noise to his day. Everyone else has to scream, struggle, or evolve. Yogiri? He just says nah, and reality obeys. If all the other MCs are broken, Yogiri is the one who breaks the concept of broken. And here's the real nightmare. If he ever actually got serious, would there even be an anime left to watch? There you have it. 15 overpowered MCs who break worlds, rules, and logic. Which one's your favorite? And more importantly, who could possibly dethrone them in the future?